Today I'm going to talk about how to create the highlight effect in Olive. Before I begin, let me show you what the effect looks like. So let me press the down arrow to go here, and then you will see the highlight effect, right? This is a static highlight effect. To play the video, let me press the letter L. Just upload the CSV file to the URL so that you can either refer to let me press URL, K to stop it. If I scrub through this, you'll notice, let me just save a project, Control S to save. I just got it whatever name, so I usually use olivetest.ove as a project name. Just replace that. You can save in your own name. Let me close that. So first of all, I need to open up the program, right? I save it in my program folder. You can watch my installation video down in the description if you don't know how to install it. From the last video, I saved it in the program files. Yeah, this one, Olive. You can save it to wherever you want, but in my case, it's just in D drive, my program files. Just click inside the Olive video folder, and then let me find out the Olive editor, this green button. Double click that to open. Once you get into the program, import your media. Simply press Ctrl I to open up the import media, and then choose the video file that you want to edit. Okay, so I save that. And you see your video, right? Drag it down to the timeline, like this one. So let's say if I want to highlight this area, then what I need to do is scrub through the timeline. Just go back to the very beginning because we do it here. Press this little cross, and then you add the solid color. So you see a little drag tool here. Just drag along the timeline to adjust for the duration. Let's say if I want it to last for 6 seconds, when you click the solid color, you will see the red. Actually, even if you unclick it, you will see the red one because it's default in red. So when you click the solid color, you can check the opacity or whatever. But in my case, I'm not going to change the opacity like this one. I'll just change the color to dark. When you double click color, pick screen color, and then just change it to black. And then OK. Then you'll see the whole screen has been turned to dark. I'll need to go to the video. Okay. So before that, you need to make sure you click the solid color item, and then you go to the video effects and click this little cross just to add video effects, and then you click distort. Select the crop effect, then you will have this left, right, or button. You can use the little arrow just to drag left or right. If you drag left, it's going to lower the number. Drag right is going to increase the number. So let me just do this. You can also double click the item double click the number and then set the value. Let's say if you want to set it to 10, then it's like this, right? But usually I'll just use the double arrow. Once you select the area, you'll see a black area covering part of your screen, right? Then I go down to the crop, and then you tick the invert. Then you will see the covered area is now uncovered, and the uncovered area before becomes covered. Okay, so what I need to do next is to make this a little bit transparent. So before that, make sure you click the solid color and change the opacity under the effect transform. You see this area becomes a little bit transparent. Again, you can just double click this to set the value. If you set a higher value, which is 80, then this area becomes darker, right? If you make it 100, then it's totally dark. The less you make, so usually I will just make it slightly highlight. Usually use 60. Then when you go down to your timeline and click L to replay, or I just you will see the highlight. But this is a little bit dull, right? It's static. URL so I want to make it a little bit vivid. Then what I can do is to add keyframe. So let's say if I want to make it auto fade in, then what I can do is go to the transform, enable keyframes for the opacity. Let me just enable that. I'm going to insert 4 keyframes. First one here, second one here, third one here, and last one here. Okay. When I move the playhead, you'll notice the change the playhead in the keyframe area. Let me move to the second keyframe, and you'll see the keyframe has been moved from here to here. So I add one more keyframe here by clicking the dot. Okay, then I'm going to change the opacity. I want to keep it like this. Then I need to go back to the previous keyframe. Press the back arrow here. If I want to go to the next one, then I need to click the forward arrow, but I don't have keyframe here, so I'm not going to add that. Let me click the back arrow here and then go back to the previous keyframe. I want it to be a little fade in, so I make it 0. And you notice there's no highlight here, right? When I move to the next keyframe by clicking the forward arrow, you'll notice the keyframe here. That's just like going from none to 60, right? So let's go back to the timeline by clicking the up arrow, because I just want to see the effect, and start playing back by pressing L. So first of all, actually the reason why I use the keyframe is that you can change the speed of the keyframe by just moving this in and out. Okay, so let's say I just make the gap a little bit bigger here so that the fade in is slower. So first of all, okay, so if I make it even further, okay, so first of all, I just upload the much CSV file slower, to the right. Let's say if I want to make a fade out, what I need to do is just put the second keyframe here, and then I add the third keyframe somewhere around here. I go all the way to the end. Let me press down arrow. Just go all the way to the last keyframe. Then I press the dot to add the fourth keyframe, the end keyframe. So I make sure the third keyframe has the same attributes, which is the same as the second one. Then I go back to the last keyframe and I change it back to 0. That means no keyframe. Press up arrow and play back to see what happened. So first of all, I just upload the CSV file to the and URL fade out so that you can either. Okay, so that's the basic fade in. So let's say if you're happy with the fade in and you want to save it as a copy, it's a little bit tricky in Olive, but you can still do it. In Olive, you can save the presets for individual effect, like transform. So it's change the size or whatever, or the opacity, like in this case. What you can do is just right click and then save settings to file. Let me call this test opacity, okay? And it's going to be stored in the .xml format. So I'll save it. Let's say if I just remove everything, create another effect and load up the effect that I just saved. So I add title, solid color. So you see the red again, right? Because I didn't save the preset. Click the solid color item. I'm not going to mess up with the color here. Just show you how I apply the transform preset. Right click transform, which is the effect that I just added before. Load settings from file. And then I just load up the test opacity file that I just create. Double click that. Let's go back to the timeline and play back to see. Okay, press L to forward my GitHub and download the CSV basically file. This one is just okay, so you can it only shows you opacity. And I forgot to save the crop effect. It doesn't matter, let me just add the crop effect again. Just crop, add effect, and then distort, and then crop. This time I'm going to save the I think I can save the solid color. Yeah, fine. So let me change the color to black. Change it to black. Okay, so you see the black color. Just save it as, usually I use the effect name test solid and then black so that I can remember what effect I apply. Change that to whatever color and then apply the effect. Let's say I have this, right click the solid and then load setting from the file. I load up the test solid black, double click that, then I have a black solid background. This time I'm going to make the crop a little bit dynamic. Click the up arrow to go to the first keyframe, then I add the second, third, and fourth. Okay, so let me just do a little bit quicker. Press the enable keyframes. Actually, I'll enable all of them and click the invert. I want it to align with the opacity. Okay, it's perfectly okay if you just select the keyframe, but I'll just go here and then I just add the keyframe for left, top, right, and bottom. Then I go to the third one. Just highlight the keyframe and then you just move it back and forth. It's perfectly okay. I'll just add all the keyframe. Make sure the fourth keyframe, which is the end keyframe, has all the 0. And the first keyframe, let me just go all the way back. The first keyframe also has 0 if you want it to start from 0. And I change the second and the third keyframe. So the second keyframe, I want it to be like this. I just do it randomly. It doesn't matter what you do. I can make it a little easier. Instead of copying all this, let me just remove that by delete. Let's just go here. Or you just move the playhead here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, you know what? I need to go back. That's not very intuitive for Olive. So 16, 15, 26, 30. Just add the keyframe. 16, 50, 26, and 30. I'm not sure if I remember. Yeah, good. Seems like my memory still works. Basically, what I just did was duplicating the second keyframe to the third keyframe. Control C and Control V. Let me see if I can copy that. Control V. Or no, I can't. No, better skip it. Let me just play back by going back here to the timeline. Press L to forward. Just pay attention to the screen area. My GitHub and download the CSV file. Okay, so you can download. So you notice the change. Let me show you again. So this is the fade in. Download the CSV file. And this is the fade out. So you can download. Okay, so basically that is shrinking the highlight box. And again, let me just right click and save my setting to test crop. I just called it highlight. It doesn't matter. Save it. Okay. So this is the simple highlight effect with the Olive video editor. I hope it helps. Thank you very much. Bye bye. So in my